Welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle D, or Coach Danni D, and I help women entrepreneurs and professionals to achieve their personal success stories that include joy, fulfillment, and balance. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease, be successful, and enjoy your life. My happy place is spending as much time in my PJs as humanly possible. And I want to help other women find their happy space while running profitable businesses or having a successful career. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello and welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I am your host, Coach Danni D, always here helping you to redefine success and find that vision that is yours that you can take from vision to execution and align everything in your life with it. So, today, what I want to talk to you about, I made a post yesterday and it was just very, very random, but I think it's something that we need to do on a regular basis to keep ourselves connected and grounded, right? So I was looking for an image. I was looking for an image for this like email that I was sending out. And the image was from an event that happened last year. And so I'm scrolling through my images to get to this particular image so that I can upload it. And in the process of that scroll, I was able to see all the different projects that I had worked on between then and now, right? And I mean, some of them were, work-related projects. Some of them were tied to workflows. Some of them were tied to my balloon company. Some of them were just personal things that had happened between during that time period. But sitting there and reflecting on how much had happened in such a short period of time and how much that a older version of myself would have been like, say what? Like she did what? Like that feeling of sometimes when we're in process, we don't give ourselves credit for the bigness of what is happening. And because we don't give ourselves credit for that, then we also don't tend to like really take stock in it. And when we are faced with challenges or, when we're having those moments of imposter syndrome, we don't have that to draw from, right? Sometimes we feel like what's ahead of us is so big and we get so caught up in like, how terrifying that may be to like, think, oh, I have to get to here when we've done similar things or we have done, big things, right? And we're not giving ourselves credit for it. And I want to be clear because I don't want anyone listening to this to feel like, well, I didn't fill in the blank. Your list and my list are not going to be the same because we're going on a different journey and we're doing a different thing. But I'm very confident that your list exists and you're not always, giving it full credit for or giving yourself full credit for what you've done, what you've been through, what you've overcome, or what you have succeeded at, what growth you've had over time. Because, I'm sure today you respond to a situation very differently than you did, 5, 10 years ago, right? So when they say that's the post. I just want you to sit back and I want you to really reflect. And sometimes it's easy to do it visually, like, looking through pictures. Sometimes it's easier to like journal, however you do it, right? I want you to sit back and I want you to reflect on where you were 5 years from now, 5 years ago. I mean, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, where were you? Where were you trying to go, right? And where are you now? Now, you may be somewhere totally different than where you thought. People say create a 5-year plan, and I'm very loose on that at this point in my life because I know sometimes what God has in store is not the plan that I have, and his plan is always better, right? But, what is it, where did you start and where are you now? And I'm a shameless plug for a second. Um, the success journal. That's the reason why I created this journal. In working with my clients, I found that there was always this disconnect, right? In my Capable Confident book, I refer to it as worth dysmorphia. There's this disconnect between who a person is and how they see themselves. And the people closest to them, they see it, but they don't see it themselves. And so I would always give this exercise to my clients. Start journaling about your successes, big ones, small ones, everything in between, because it gives you that record to go back to say, this is where I like started, this is where I am. I've done all of these things and I'm proud of myself for doing them. It gives you that record of accomplishment, right? So that's where that started. And one of my clients said, turn it into an actual journal. And I did. And it's important because it's not just about listing a list of things, but also how did you feel in that moment? Because as time goes on, you're going to be less connected to that feeling of that moment, right? It's just, time you know, lessens that intensity. But to be able to bring yourself back there and say, you know what, this was a great thing and I felt great about it and I had an impact and, whatever it was in that moment, or I was proud of myself for pushing myself to this goal that I thought that I couldn't accomplish, but I stayed the course and I did it. All of that, it all matters. It all matters. And we need to be more conscious of it because I think, one, it helps you to walk taller in your purpose, right? Because now you see who you are and what you're capable of. But two, it is just that reminder that you need. We all going to have down days. We're all going to have days where we are second guessing. And it's that reminder that I got this. I got this. And I've done it before and I can do it again. So that's what I have for you today. I'm not going to get too much deeper than that. What's going on in the workflow universe? So I have the book signing at Barnes and Nobles in Elmwood on the 27th between 1 and 3 for the Capable Confident You book. In July, I'm going to be traveling to Indianapolis for the Balloons and Color um convention. So I'll be teaching 2 classes there. And in September, I will be at the Inflate Your Income. So that is the conference that myself, Sheila Fluker, Pauline, and Adrian are all, we all put that on together. Tiffany McKinney, who's been a past guest. Sheila has been a past guest as well. Tiffany is going to be there talking about pricing because she's that girl that's going to get you together when it comes to pricing. So, the Inflate Your Income event is really the business event for balloon artists. And it is the event that we are getting down to the nitty gritty of how to really inflate your income, how to get sustainable businesses, not just the artistry. But then we have Adrienne, who is phenomenal with all balloons, but especially with foils. Like she just can remix, in ways that I just don't even understand. But so we do have that portion so that you can learn a little bit of hands-on technique, but we want to make sure that you understand, how to sell those things, how to attract clients, how to build a business with boundaries, how to price your items, right? So that you are being successful in that regard. So, yes, that's happening. And I think that's it for now for what's on the horizon for now. So that's September. Oh, August, I'm going to be doing, I haven't formally announced this yet, but August 15th, I'll be doing a book signing for the I Don't Do It All and Neither Should You book at the Metairie Barnes and Noble. So I haven't officially announced that yet. I'm going to wait till after the first book signing to announce the second book signing. But so that'll be August. And I think that's it, y'all. But if not, just make sure you're on the mailing list so that you can get any information about anything that we have going on. Every Wednesday, I send out a What's New Wednesday, and it has all of the different things that are going on in the world of workflow, as well as the new podcast episode that released on that day. So that's all I have for you guys. I want you to have that reflection moment, and I want you to really sit and see the growth. And I want you to start tracking it. So like when you are sitting down setting these goals or having these visions, I want you to track that. I want you to track it because it's just like, let's say if you were losing weight, sometimes the scale doesn't show it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the traditional ways of looking don't show it in the same way that maybe if you took your measurements at the beginning and then you take your measurements now, you can see, well, I lost these inches. Or if you wore a pair of jeans on day 1 and now you're wearing them on day 15 and they're starting to fall off, you know that I started here and here I am. So, keep track of that however it makes sense for you so that you can continue to see that growth, because sometimes we get discouraged, but it's because we're not seeing the progress. All right, y'all have a good day and rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with these. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. For more information about creating balance in your life, register for my upcoming calendar detox challenge at CoachDanniD.com. Don't forget to subscribe, join the community, and book a call to find the workflow program that best fits your needs.